शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। दयानंद रूपम मदाचार्य मीडे। So in the last class, long ago, we were looking at manasa karma. Kaikam, vachikam, manasam karma. In prayer we have these three. And we were looking at manasa karma, and in that context, I told you the story of Puja, who built a temple for Lord Shiva, where in his mind. So from this we understand that a manasam karma can be a simple japa, or it can be an elaborate ritual, or something as elaborate as building a temple, which means it is not a random thought or some fancy, Manasa japa or manasa puja is it's where you are actually involved completely. So that is called manasa puja. And this temple which Pusalar constructed is called, the Shiva is called as Hridayaleshwaraha. Hridaya Aleshwara. One who has Hridaya, the Hridaya of Pusalar as his Alaya, as his temple. Even though he visualized a huge temple for Lord Shiva, the visualization took place in his heart. Heart means Hridaya, mind, heart. We all make it same. We don't try to split whether it is a heart or it is here or here and all. Don't get into all that. Manasala, Hridayatala, we say. So it's called Hridayaleshwara, and somebody was mentioning that many people go to this temple if they have any heart problem. But actually it is not meant for heart problem, but Shraddha is there, which is fine. That Shraddha will, people have been cured, with people who have the heart problems, any issue with the heart, whatever the issue may be with the heart, it could be emotional or it could be physical also. So they have been cured and they have been blessed. So which is fine, but actually how the temple came about is because of his Manasa temple, and then later on the king of course constructed the temple for him. Whatever was Manasam was later on constructed by the king on behalf of Pusalar. So this Manasa Puja or Manasa Japa is called Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyaparaha. What is the Vishaya of Manasa Vyapara? Means mental activity. So everything is mental activity only. Your worry, your planning, your knowledge, everything is mental activity. What is special about this Manasa Puja is it is a mental activity which has Saguna Brahma as the Vishaya, as the object. Ishvara is the object of this mental activity. Which means all your thoughts are connected to Ishvara. Okay, so if we take this story of Pushalar, there were various thoughts, right? The thoughts were not only about, he was not stuck with Ishvara, with that Shiva or Shivalinga in his mind, like the film got stuck there and it's not moving, not like that. He was doing construction of the temple, which means various thoughts of bringing sand, arranging the wall, binding it, and digging a well. All these are various thoughts. But all these thoughts were connected to Shiva, Ishvara. So whatever thought is there, the Vishaya is, even though you are digging the well, the Vishaya is it is for Ishvara. So you have Ishvara in your mind. And whatever you are doing is only for, every thought is connected to the Lord. Hence it is Saguna Brahma Vishaya, Manasa Vyaparaha. And Saguna Brahma means Ishvara, I told you. So you need not have any confusion about that. We have the word, another word for Ishvara is Saguna Brahma. So even though there are various thoughts, everything is connected to Saguna Brahma. So it is a Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyaparaha. Then we have this Manasa Puja also is there, we saw already. Shiva Manasa Puja, Devi Manasa Puja, where you offer asanam. Avahanam is there, you invite Bhagavan, you offer asanam to Bhagavan, then you wash his feet, Padyam, then you offer water to wash his hands, Argyam, then you offer water to drink, Achmaniam, then you offer Snanam. So all these are various steps. But still, all these thoughts, each one is in a thought form. All the thoughts are connected to Ishvara. Hence it is the puja or japa or any other mental activity which is connected to Ishvara is Saguna Brahma Manasa Vyaparaha. That is Manasa Japam, Manasa prayer. See, in this what happens, you connect with Ishvara. Without having a connection with Ishvara, it is not possible to hold the thought, A continuous flow of thought is required. Like when you love someone, huh? Your child or your spouse, or if there is anybody who is not married and you are in love, the thought continuously, anything like you want to buy something, I should buy this dress for them, I should buy this for them, I should prepare this for them. Anything you think of, it's the focus is only on that person whom you love, right? So that is exactly how you do Manasa Vyapara also. Saguna Brahma Manasa Vyapara. It's not something very special from what we are actually doing. Generally, when we say Saguna Brahma Manasa Vyapara, oh, it's something special. I have to learn it. What is that? The thought may come, nothing. Something which you have been doing all your life. Here, the object is Ishvara. That's all. Simple. So don't try to complicate it by trying to make it very mystic and all that. Okay? What you do every day is the same. So it's a repetition of a meaningful thought connected to Ishvara. The other form of meditation is japa. It means repetition of a particular mantra or a shloka, which I think we saw this long back on a. So anything connected to a particular devata, Ishta devata or Kula devata, or sometimes it could be like Sunday I want to do on Aditya, on Surya Bhagavan. Monday I want to do japa on Shiva. Tuesday I want to do japa on somebody else. On Thursday I want to do on Guru, and then I want to do on Ganesha. So every day it may change also. For some people there are people who do various japas, various shlokas and mantras. I'm not talking about shloka recitation. I'm talking about you take particular shloka and repeat it in your mind again and again, or a mantra. So it is okay. That is also fine. For that one day, you're focusing on a particular nama. That is also fine. Or it could be a mantra which you have been initiated into. So if you have been initiated into a mantra, then you need to follow whatever the Guru has asked you to do. They will teach you nyasam. They will teach you, karanyasam, anganyasam, dhyana shlokam. All those. It's a big procedure. Not a big procedure. It's a simple procedure, but you have to do that when you do this nama japa. whatever initiation you have taken. You have to do only that way. So if you are not committed to doing that way, then you don't do it. The Guru has taught, there are certain mantras which need to be only in a particular procedure. So you better do it. What will happen if I don't do it? Why you won't even take that mantra then? Why you want to explore all that, experiment all that? Have some shraddha. If they say that is how it should be done, if you can't do, don't take that diksha. If you can do, take the diksha and do the diksha. Otherwise, you have many other mantras which you can do even without nyasa and other things, like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And many mantras are there, many simple shlokas are there. You can do the japa of that. So don't insist on doing something which has certain method of doing and then say, I don't have time for all this. So Bhagavan understands everything. So Bhagavan understands everything. Bhagavan also understands that you are lazy and you are just giving some excuses. So Bhagavan is not stupid. Okay. Bhagavan also sees what you are doing. If you are lazy and you are just uh, being careless and disrespectful, he will know that also. So better have Shraddha. If you take a Diksha mantra from a guru and if he has taught you how to do it that way. If you can't even do that, then what is the purpose of taking all those Dikshas? It's very wrong. So you have Hare Rama, Hare Krishna also. You can take Rama Nama Japam, Rama Japa. So this type of japa is purely manasa, where the voice is not associated. But then, I think I told you this also, but still, the voice, your vocal cord will take over, you have to be very careful. Sometimes you start with manasa, some 8 namas, 9 namas, or 10 namas, you say manasa, totally involved, because, and you also, before going into meditation, you make sure that you're not disturbed, you don't have any distractions. You close the windows, you pull the curtains, you close the windows, the doors, switch off the TV, ask everyone to shut up. You create a wonderful environment for yourself and sit and do the japa. It's peaceful. It's very quiet. So you sit and do the japa. For some time it's so nice, very quiet and nice. But then after some time you see that the vocal cord, you start repeating the japa. And there is some distraction also. Some distraction, some thought suddenly pops up. You go along with the thought. You don't know where you went. You just keep going. Wherever you want. Wherever it takes you, you keep going. So the mind is wandering. Then after some time you don't even realize you sat to do japa. Okay? It's completely gone. And you are focused on allowing wherever the mind goes, you are thought, you just go along with it. But then, if you notice, suddenly after some time you realize you are still saying the japa. When that thought stops, okay, the wandering thought stops, and you realize that you are actually going on repeating that japa. So what happens when the vocal cord takes over is, you get exhausted. You get very exhausted when the vocal cord, because it's a continuous talking, you're talking continuously. And those who have attempted to do Manasa Japa will know whatever I'm saying right now. And your breathing also becomes very shallow, because you want to say the mantra, you are determined to say the mantra, you are very sincere, and you have a great desire to do the japa, because you see people sitting like this and all, see the pictures, and you go for meditation class and you see people sitting around you. How come everybody is able to sit without doing? But for me, I keep wondering, they all have some, some expression as if they are floating somewhere. How come every time I open my eyes and see how everybody is doing and all that, I'm not able to do that, That also discourages you. Everybody is doing, oh, then something is wrong with me. I'm not able to do this. So your thought process against goes that way also. So a lot of distraction happens. Many people say when I sit for meditation, all distraction happens only when I sit for meditation. My mind keeps wandering, all thoughts keep coming, I become restless. I'm not able to sit even for 2 minutes. So this happens. So many obstacles, the vocal cord takes over, the mind keeps wandering, and they is wondering why everybody is able to do, I'm not able to do. Everything happens only on the 15 minutes you have dedicated for doing japa. Just imagine. And you wonder, even without doing japa, I seem to be okay. But only when I sit for japa, everything, all these problem comes. Otherwise, I seem to be peaceful otherwise. Only when I come for meditation, I lose all my peace. So I'm not going to sit for meditation at all. I'm not able to repeat this japa. You. Oh my God, enough. This is not for me. So people give up like that. So in spite of closing the windows, the doors, and pulling the curtains, switching on the AC, lighting the lamp, you create a wonderful divine atmosphere also. So this is because the nature of the mind is to wander. Okay. First, we have to accept that the nature of the mind is to wander. But once you see, another thing is once you master this manasa japa, okay, uh, when you become very alert about your vocal cord not taking over. So once your vocal cord takes over, the mind wanders because you are talking, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya is going on here. So now the mind is free. Sometimes both things will happen, You are saying Om Namah Shivaya, the vocal cord is doing the Om Namah Shivaya japa, but then maybe your mind is not wandering, but you feel tired. And you're so determined to say finish that Om Namah Shivaya 108 times or 128 times or whatever. So your breathing also is shallow. You're not relaxed. You're so afraid that your mind may wander. So you're not relaxed while doing the japa. So at the end of the japa, after you complete 108, you feel it becomes a stress. You feel stressed doing japa. Then you feel so relaxed. Wow, I completed 108 times. You actually feel relaxed after the japa. So it's ulta now. So one has to, you don't have to feel so stressed about it. The stress is about not letting the mind wander away. That is one stress everybody has. But once you master this manasa japa, it is ananda. Um, it's pure mental. It has its own drishtapala. You are completely absorbed in it. When you listen to some music, something very nice, divine music, what happens? Your mind is completely absorbed. Some Krishna bhajan is going on, very melodious. Your mind is completely absorbed in those words and the meaning behind those words. You visualize Krishna and all that. You feel it's a meditation, like actually it is. Music has that power to hold your mind. It is ananda, right? You feel so relaxed and so peaceful. So at that time, what happens? The music holds your mind. Sometimes people like music also while doing japa or meditation. Music holds your mind. It has a soothing effect on your mind. But then every time you cannot take a tape recorder and everything, right? It's not possible. So one has to train the mind just to keep it in your own vasha and do what you want it to do. So that comes by practice, that comes by regular practice. Not once in a week practice, but every day you spend some time, committed time. So it has a lot of drishtapala. Japam has, drishtapala is amazing for japa. It helps you to train the mind. So one advantage of japa is you make a conscious decision while starting a japa. Okay? An auto suggestion, let us say that I am going to recite this japa. Forget about the number. If you want, you can fix a number. But I am going to recite this japa, and whenever my mind wanders away from repeating this nama, I'll bring it back. You have to say this. Okay, it is a sankalpa. You make a what is sankalpa is nothing but a decision. And a decision is what you're telling yourself, okay? You're telling yourself, I'm going to do this japa, and when I repeat this name, if my mind wanders away, I will bring it back. So you relax now. So if it wanders, so what is the advantages of this auto suggestion? Advantage of this sankalpa or this auto suggestion is that you become alert when the mind wanders. It helps you. You simply say, I'm going to do japa and sit. You're not alert when the mind wanders. But before you start the japa, you try this, okay? Only then you will know that. Even I can keep on saying this 100 times, but you may not understand unless you try it for yourself. Tonight, you just say, you try before going to sleep. I'm going to say this mantra 54 times or 28 times. You just make it a smaller number. Because when you succeed, you will feel very good about it. And if my mind wanders away, I'll bring my mind back. Make the sankalpa and start. So your mind, when it wanders, you become alert. Oh, okay, come back. And you will bring back to Om Namah Shivaya. You know this, it's an anchor. The mantra becomes like an anchor. In a ship, they put an anchor, right? Anchor is what? When the ship, so that the ship doesn't drift away. So when it drifts, this anchor brings it back to wherever it needs to stay. So this Nama Japa serves as an anchor. So in the beginning, there may not be much of devotion also. Because in the beginning, since you're practicing, even a little bit of devotion in between is fine. So don't worry about all that. Once you train your mind that way, it will listen. The mind will listen. Like how your body, when you train your body, you do exercise, and then the body becomes flexible, right? It bends the way you want it to bend, and all that is just by practice. But you have to say in the beginning, this is very important. This auto suggestion has to be a conscious auto suggestion, a conscious sankalpa that you make. So this, whenever it is, now you may think, okay, why should I say when the mind, I'm going to say this mantra, and when the mind drifts away, I will bring it back. Whenever there is a distraction, I'll bring it back. Why say all that? I will do japa without any distraction. Simple, na? I can say that. I will make a sankalpa that I will do this japa without any distraction. I'll close my eyes. But it won't work. Most of the time, mostly it won't work. Why? Because the nature of the mind is to move away. You have to understand that. The mind will move. There will be distraction because there are so many things inside now for you to distract. You may close the door, you may close the windows, you may shut everyone out. You may switch off the TV, the mobile, everything may be quiet, but you have a world inside, no? You may shut the whole world, but you have a world, you carry a world inside your head. So there is somebody talking, saying something. It's going on. The chatter is going on inside. You yourself, self-blame will be there. A lot of guilt is there. A lot of regret. Oh, you shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. I should have done this. Oh, I did this. It goes on. That the script keeps coming. It's just flowing. And you don't even know what the next thought is going to be. Suddenly you sit for meditation and suddenly you become depressed because some thought came. So then suddenly you are angry. By the end of the meditation, you are angry. Just wait. So you end up being that also. Then you suddenly get up. You don't even know why you sat and for what you sat. You actually sat for japa. Then you suddenly get up because you've completely forgot that you sat down for some japa or some meditation. That also goes away. So there is a world you are carrying inside your head. How to make that calm? We'll come to that. Bhagwan has given all that. We have karma yoga, how to calm that mind, how to deal with all that, we'll see. But for now, what I'm going to do is, since I do not know what my next thought is going to be, I make a decision that my next thought is, I fix the next thought. The best way is to fix the next thought. So when I sit for japa, or when I say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, so now I know my next Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Next thought, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Next thought, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So my next thought after Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya will be Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yeah? So I fix the thought. This is what my thought should be. But in spite of it, if it wanders, since you have made an auto suggestion, you will bring that mind back gently. Don't drag. Gently, you bring it back. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself gently. It's your mind, okay? Come on. It's your mind. Be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Bring the mind back to what you want to do. We do this also. It's not something very new. When you're studying for some exam or something, the mind wanders. Oh no, I have to focus on this. No, I have to first finish this work. I can't let myself get distracted. You do all that, right? It's not something new. This is exactly how japa also works. So the japa helps you to train the mind and to connect only to what you want to focus upon. Many people give up on meditation because they don't understand the nature of the mind. So once you understand the nature of the mind is to wander, accept the fact. Okay? So why so many thoughts come? Why people become restless? I told you, no, you have a lot of things which are not resolved there. You have to resolve things. Many people don't resolve issue. They carry, you keep carrying it. You know, like a carry bag, you keep carry bag. I'm not talking about a plastic carry bag. Your mind becomes a carry bag where you keep on stuffing things, You don't resolve it. You have to, every day before going to bed, it is extremely important for you to sit and go through the whole day's activities or whatever you spoke, whatever happened to you, how you felt, how you think you made other people feel. Everything, go through it the whole day, whatever happened. If there is any need for you to resolve it, okay, today I made this mistake. Every day forgive yourself, every day forgive other people, every day. Next time this is how I am going to handle it. Forgiving doesn't mean that you let people to do it again and again. Next time, okay, today I'll forgive this fellow, but next time when this happens, I'm going to be like this. Okay, today I spoke like this, today I said this, okay, I forgive myself and ask for forgiveness, and next time I'll be careful. So every day you have to bring yourself to an alert position. Unless you analyze yourself, how will you even change, right? At some point you have to surrender to Bhagavan. You don't try to control everything. When you try to control everything, you become so stressed. Everything is not in your control. I'm going to do this for my family. I'm going to do this for, I'm going to have, having a goal and trying to achieve it, that is different. But then trying to have control over everything will make you feel so stressed. You will not be relaxed. And you have your own self-image and all that. You add a lot of problems to yourself. You make life miserable for yourself. So at least don't make it miserable. Already many things are there. Okay, already many things are not the way you want it to go. Already it's a mess. You don't add to it. You need to have a proper attitude towards life. Surrender to Bhagavan, give it to Bhagavan. So many Puranas, so many Itihasas, allow it to go through your mind. how they handle, how the Pandavas handled it, how Rama and Sita and Lakshmana they handled it. Why we read all these Puranas and Itihasas? Not a time pass. That itself can be a thought for meditation. Analyze things and allow and surrender to Bhagavan. Understand that you're not in control of everything. Your power is limited, your strength is limited, your knowledge is limited. Given this much strength, this much knowledge, and this much time, that's all I can do. So I did my best. You know what your best is. So you don't try to stress too much. Then you create a mind which is restless. So don't make it. The nature of the mind is calm. I told you in the meditation class itself, the mind's nature is calm. The thoughts are calm only. You bring agitation there. Okay? You bring in agitation. So all this anger, this pride, kama krodha lobha mada matsarya, as we say, no? You are adding a pinch of anger, a pinch of, a dash of, sadness. You create a recipe for yourself to make your life miserable. Don't do that. So before going to bed, karacharana kritam va, kayajam, karmajam va, shravananayanajam va, manasam va, paradam, vihitam avihitam va, sarvametat kshamasva, jaya jaya karunabdhe, Shri Mahadeva Shambhu. You need to have a relationship with Bhagavan. We'll see all that later. But now coming to japa. So that is how you make your mind calm. Before going to sleep, sleep with a calm mind. If you're not able to do that, collect everything, put it in a box. Don't worry. When you wake up in the morning, you can take everything from the box and start all over again worrying. Don't worry. It's not going anywhere. It is safe. Safe in a box. And you can take it and start worrying. Fresh in the morning. Okay? You will be fresh after a good night's sleep. Now you are full of energy and vigor and all that. With a cup of coffee, you can start your day worrying for whatever you have been worrying. It won't go anywhere. So this mantra, japa, how it helps. Swamiji used to say, when you're growing a chicory plant, the grass is a weed. So you pull out the weeds. But when you're growing grass, suppose I'm not talking of miserable little grass. We grow grass for the cows, huge ones. And 6 feet, 7 feet tall, if you come to. So when you're growing that, then chicory, if chicory is grown in between, then it becomes a weed. So Swamiji says, there is nothing called as a weed. Everything is plant only. Similarly, any thought when you are doing a japa, however important the thought may be, while doing a japa, some thought comes, important thought maybe. But still it is like a weed. When you are focusing on something and you want to achieve something, anything that is not what you want to do, other than that is a weed. So don't look at your mind, your thoughts as unnecessary thoughts, waste thoughts, useless thoughts. Don't condemn your thoughts. Stop. If the thought is there, if there is a thought of sadness, if there is a thought of anger or frustration, it only means there is a cause for it, right? How will you get a sad thought unless there is a cause for sadness? Which means you're sad about something. You're already a sad person and suddenly the sad thought comes. If there is an anger thought, you're already an anger person. Yeah, already you're angry. Maybe not right now, but there is anger. And suddenly it pops up. So without a cause, these thoughts are not possible. So when you say these thoughts are useless thoughts, then you are condemning yourself as useless. You are carrying the source, the reason for those thoughts to be there. That somewhere you have pain. There is some pain which triggers, and then the thought pops up. How come it is not there other times? Why should it pop up only when I am in meditation, when I am doing japa? Because other times you are busy, your mind is engaged in many other activities. So it is just waiting for you. When will she stop? When will he stop? Let me pop up. Let me pop up. Now the person is free, sitting for meditation. No thoughts. Now, no other activity. Now I'll pop up. So it pops up. That's all. It's not because you're sitting for meditation only then it pops up. It is already there. But your mind is engaged in some other activity, so this one is not able to get your attention. So when your mind is not engaged in any other activities, this one is able to get your attention. Hey, look, I'm here. When are you going to look at me? When are you going to address me? Look, I'm there. It keeps telling you. It's only a reminder for you to resolve, finish it off. Don't drag, don't postpone. So all this pain needs to be addressed. So you make a commitment to sit for japa. And if such thoughts come, be kind to yourself. Oh, I have this pain. I'll deal with it. Okay, I'll deal with it. Yeah, definitely I'll deal with it. Okay. Then Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Then something else comes. Okay, yeah, it's okay, I can wait. Om Namah Shivaya. That's how you should do it. Being kind. Even if it is for 5 minutes, doesn't matter. Don't even uh, make it an half an hour commitment, or of course you will say, oh ma'am, I don't have that much time. Okay, fine, I can hear that also. Even if it is 5 minutes or 6 minutes or 7, maximum 10 minutes, it is all right. If you have that pain popping up, just know how to address it and resolve it. It's an opportunity. Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita says, yato yato nischarati manaschanchala asthiram. Manaha asthiram. Chanchalam asthiram. Tatastato niyamya etadatmanyeva vasham naye. What does that mean? He says this. The nature of the mind, Krishna himself says. Now you can relax, okay? Because Krishna himself says, for whatever reason, the mind, yato yato, wherever it moves, because it is unsteady. The mind is unsteady. Astiram, chanchalam, always in a state of flux. Tato tato, from wherever it is going from there, you bring it back. Niyamya, bring it back to your own self. May one bring the mind into one's own vasha. May one's own vasha means, you know what, it's mastering, you're controlling it. Okay, I'm not talking about control. I generally say I'll master it. If you're able to bring it back, you are the master of the mind. You say, no, you can't go back there, come back. So you are the master. So you can be a master only when you are kind. You can't be a master if there is no kindness. Then you will be a Hitler, being very harsh. Don't be harsh. So the mastery, the word is very nice, instead of saying controlling the mind. So mastering the mind. A master is one who is kind and firm. A controller is one who is rude and harsh. So be a master, not a controller of your mind. You bring that mind back, Krishna says. So Krishna himself says, chanchala, means the mind is always, that is the nature of the mind. The nature of the mind is to be chanchala, chalati. It keeps moving. This is the fact. And this is how the mind is made of. It is good. There is nothing right or wrong about it. That is the nature. Otherwise, you will be stuck in one thought. Suppose the thought which you are stuck is a nice thought, it's okay. But you are stuck with some unpleasant thought. Just imagine what will be your state. Generally, people say, no, I went there. Oh my God, I don't know why I saw that. It's always in my mind. It is not going away. Then you say, wow, it is not moving away from my mind. It's still there. That is also there. But just imagine it is stuck like the film roll gets stuck, in the movies. In those days when they were having this roll, the roll gets stuck. Then you'll be looking at the same still. Then and then the fellow will come and change the reel. So just imagine if it gets stuck. So nothing will happen. You'll be stuck forever with so. So the nature of the mind is to move, Bhagavan says, and it's unsteady also. And it's not firm also. So this chanchala and asthira, they qualify each other. Because it's chanchala, it is asthira. And because it's not sthira, it is chanchala. Okay. So astiratvat chanchalam or chanchalatvat astiram. Whichever way you look at it, that is the nature of the mind. Which is the reason for what? Don't try whether because it's unsteady it is chanchala or because it's chanchala it is unsteady. No, it's both. And further he says, and therefore nischarati, it keeps moving. It goes away. It will go. So what do I do? No problem. Don't worry about it. Come on, Arjuna, you just relax. Don't worry. You just bring it back. If it goes away from the chosen object of meditation, you have chosen, could be a meditation or any work, you go, whatever, study or any other work. So meditation is nothing but focusing on a particular object which you want to focus upon. That's all. You are meditating. But we talk about meditation here with reference to Ishvara, Saguna Brahma Manasa Vishaya Vyapara. That is why you remember always that. Everybody is meditative. Everybody does meditation. When you're engrossed in something, you are in a meditative state. But here we are talking about Ishvara. Hence, when prayer or japa or devotion is involved here, we are talking especially about meditation. That's all. Nothing very mystic about it. So you bring the mind back, he says. Bring it back. So Arjuna is listening to whatever Krishna is saying. Okay, Krishna says mind is chanchala, mind is asthira. You feel good, right? When Bhagavan himself says, yeah, I have given you a mind which is chanchala and a mind which is unsteady, you feel really good. Wow, Bhagavan has said that. So the Arjuna is listening to it and he says, hey Krishna, chanchalam hi manaha. Don't say mind gets agitated. Mind itself is agitation. He goes one step further and he says, chanchalam hi manah Krishna, pramati bhalavad dridam. Hey Krishna, the mind, the nature of mind itself means is agitation only, Krishna. And it is pramati, it's a tyrant. And it's bhalavat, it's strong. And it's drida, it's well rooted, You can't shake it. It's like that. Tasya nigraham, you say to master it, bring it back and control it, keep it in your vasha and all that. Yeah, but I don't think it's easy, Krishna. Tasya vasham, tasya nigraham, it's like vayoriva sudushkritam. Like how you can control the vayu, the wind, blowing. Can you control? Katrikennaveli. There is a song also. It keeps moving, you can't stop. It's very difficult. Dushkritam. It's very difficult, Krishna. See, Arjuna asked a question on your behalf, on our behalf, let us say. Not only my mind is chanchala and asthira, it is pramati, balavat and dridaha. So it is like a tyrant. It is cruel. It just shakes you up, squeezes you. It exhausts you, tires you. Terrorizes you also. All the thoughts you get, oh my god, I have so many thoughts, oh my god, let me shut it up, enough. I'm not even going to sit and close my eyes. If I close my eyes, all thoughts come. I better open my eyes and see wonderful things. That is better. Oh my God, I have so much inside. Oh, I have enough to torture me. So it's like a tyrant. So don't say the mind gets agitated. The mind is agitation, Krishna, and it is strong. The mind is Bhalavat. It's very strong. Yeah, we have a strong mind. Everybody says that your mind is very strong. Have a strong mind. People say, but in what context he is saying? It seems to be so strong. It has the capacity to take charge of everything. You want to do something, but it's not allowing you to do something. It doesn't allow you to. It seems to be the master. It seems to control you. It seems to be bigger than you. It dictates. What I should do, I should not do. It keeps dictating, and all your reasoning is gone. Sometimes all your logic, all your reasoning, all your knowledge, everything is gone when the mind is in charge. And because no one wants to be sad, you don't desire to be sad. Suddenly it makes you sad. Suddenly you are nice, and suddenly you wake up feeling depressed. No mood. I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like. I don't know what. I don't like anything. So the mind seems to be taking away all your time, your energy. It doesn't allow you to move forward. It keeps you under its hold. Mind seems to be very strong. And suddenly I wake up being angry also sometimes. Some people wake up in the morning, it's a bad mood. They wake up in a very angry state. If, when you went to bed, you were peaceful. What happened? Yeah, why are you waking up with such foul mood? Don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. That's how the mind seems to really control my life. So emotions like sorrow and anger seem to have hold over the person. So all your culture, your upbringing, uh, everything is gone with the wind. When you're angry, the type of words you use, the language you use, you are a different person, right? When you're sad or when you're angry, you're totally a different person. It's as if you're not there. Somebody else is a possessed person. You don't know what you do, you don't know what you say. Oh my God, did he say such words? Did I say? Language, in the sense, I'm not talking Arabic and other languages. I'm saying the way you speak when you're angry. Otherwise, I won't utter such words. But when I'm angry, when I'm sad, when I'm irritated, frustrated, all these things come out. So where did it come? So it looks like there are two people. One is me and one is somebody else there. Something else which is totally in control. So my effort or my strength seems to be nothing compared to the strength of the mind. Whatever effort I take doesn't seem to be sufficient, doesn't seem to be adequate. I get tired. I get tired trying to control whatever is happening. And it is dridavat, another word he says. Dridavat. Dridavat means it's well rooted. You see these huge trees, they are deeply rooted. Hmm? You can't, maybe you can cut some branches now and then, but then it keeps growing again because it's well rooted. And you can't shake the tree also. You can't do anything. It's so deep rooted. Very strong. Doesn't move in spite of all your efforts. Your efforts are nothing compared to its strength. So what is this deep rooted mean? Okay. This is where psychology comes. Many people think that in our Sanatana Dharma, people don't talk about psychology. Psychology is only from the West and all that. No, that's not true. In our Sanatana Dharma, in our Shastra or Itihasa, Purana, whatever, the psychology, the word may not be there, but everything fits into Raga Dvesha. Okay, likes and dislikes. That is how the psychology is seen. See, this mind is actually an instrument. Okay, one has to understand the nature of the mind. The mind is an instrument. It's called antakarana. Karana means an instrument, inner instrument. Our body is an instrument. Our sense organs are an instrument. Our limbs are an instrument. Instrument means something that which doesn't have a mind of its own, doesn't function on its own unless there is someone who makes use of it, right? Suppose there is a car. The car is it's an instrument, right? The car doesn't go on its own. Even if you say there are car without you need now there without a driver, the car can be, we have drones and all. The person is not there. But there is a person who is there controlling through a remote control. So even if you say the car without a driver, we don't need drivers nowadays. The car can go wherever it wants to. But still there is a human conscious mind which has designed that. The conscious mind is behind that, which has designed that car to move. So the tool doesn't do a work on its own. You can't have a hammer and a nail and say, hammer, hammer, go and hit the nail on the wall and also hang that picture on the wall. The hammer is not going to listen. The hammer doesn't do anything on its own. There is a conscious being which uses the instrument. So instrument is jadam. All instruments are jada. Even a robo is a jada. The robo behaves the way it behaves because there is a conscious being who has designed it to behave in a particular way. So everything is a jada and the conscious being is making use of it. So this mind is also an instrument which is used by you. It doesn't function on its own. So once you understand that the mind is an instrument, then you'll become alert. Any sad thought comes or any other thought which is really disturbing the peaceful nature of the mind. Like there is a peaceful, the water is, sometimes when you look at the pond, it's calm. Then you throw a stone, then a ripple forms, right? It's a disturbance. Then after some time, when that ripples, they settle down, then once again, it's calm. Sometimes even the ripples are beautiful, right? If it is a pleasant thought, even it doesn't disturb. But only when it is a painful thought, it seems to be a disturbance. So this mind, which is an instrument for me, seems to have control over me. Just imagine an instrument having a jada, having a control over the conscious being. So where is this rooted? Okay, how it is able to do that? This is where this raga dveshas come in. Bhagavan talks about raga dvesha at length in many places all over Bhagavad Gita. This personal likes and dislikes are when everybody has their own personal likes and dislikes. This personal likes and dislikes, when if it is in keeping with dharma, then there is no conflict. What I like and what is dharma, what is dharmic, they are aligned. No conflict. What is adharma? I don't like certain things, and yeah, whatever you don't like is also adharma only. So that adharma and what I don't like also are aligned. There is no conflict. The conflict comes when what I like is not in keeping with dharma. It is adharma. Then there is a conflict in mind. This conflicting mind is what we call as a restless mind. When there are a lot of conflicts. And we pick up a lot of conflicts from childhood. From childhood, everything starts, and your upbringing, what your parents said, their perception about you, how you felt. Maybe they were kind to you and loving to you, but you feel you didn't receive enough love. It could be both ways, maybe anything. It really doesn't matter. We won't get into all that. So this a sense of a very low self-esteem. They made you feel that you're not good enough, or there is a feeling. I won't say they made you. You have a feeling of I'm not good enough. You have a feeling that I'm not wanted, rejected. There's no approval, no appreciation, no recognition. So many things are there, right? Everything is picked up from childhood. Plus many janmas. Okay, that samskara also is there. So all these are there in the form of anger, vengeance, disappointment. Plus you also add, right? As you grow, you also add to it. You do a little bit of shopping for all that. You add to the basket. And when you do things, you're already hurt and you do something and you add more guilt. Oh my God, why did I do this? I shouldn't have said that. I should have done this. So you add guilt to it. Oh my God, why did I react like that? I shouldn't have. What made me do that? So you're a pain person. You're a person who has pain. And when there is a trigger, somebody touches that pain, which happens, like sudden, suppose there is a wound in your hand or your face or wherever. Already there is pain. You just ignore the pain and you continue to do your daily work, activities. Then somebody comes and pokes the pain, the wound, they touch it. That is when you react. Because the pain makes you react. When there is pain, you won't respond, you only react. So when you react, the reaction is not going to be pleasant, right? You want one hit, or one kick, or some harsh words will come. So the person who is already in pain is now reacting. So when you react, you, you say things and do things which is going to make you feel guilty or ashamed or regret. So you're adding to the pain. So this goes on and on. So this is how you collect. Already you had a feeling that I'm not good enough. Then somebody comes and says, gives their opinion about your work. They didn't mean to say that whatever you did is not good enough, but they just gave their opinion. But you read it as they are saying that whatever I did is not good enough, because you are already believing that about yourself. So all this is psychology, okay? Then based on that, you have your own likes and dislike. I like this person. When you have a liking for the person, it is different. When you have a dislike for that person, then adharma will be there, right? Even though you know the person is right, you treat them differently. All this comes a lot of conflicts, make everything complicated. So all these things are there in the mind. This is psychology. This raga, you put everything in raga dvesha, two words, finish. So when pain is there, then dharma also, sometimes you won't be able to do what is right. All it is, whatever knowledge you had, whatever upbringing you had, everything is robbed away. The mind takes away everything. So this is what happens with the mind. Because everything is stored in the mind in the form of emotions, form of thoughts. So we pick up everything from childhood. So most of our responses to the world, to people, even towards your own self, your own self, you are rude and harsh to your own self many times. If you just observe what you tell yourself from morning till evening, do you really say nice things to yourself? How many people say nice things to oneself? You just observe for just one day, okay? Till you come for next class, just observe and see whether you say nice things to you. Forget about what you tell others. You say you have to be nice to others, you have to be kind to others, everything with reference to others, okay. But with reference to yourself, how are you? Have you ever tried to observe that, notice that? So this is drida, the word Arjuna uses, this bhalavat and drida is the unconscious. It's about the unconscious, right? All our pain that we picked up from childhood is unconscious, or from the previous janma. It's in the unconscious mind. So this unconscious seems to have control. If something is conscious and you do, you know how to correct it, and you go about changing your attitude or behavior. But then this something which is deep rooted, it seems to control you. That's why when you burst out and all that, you don't know how to handle yourself at that time. So this is what Arjuna is asking. See, Arjuna has come from an excellent background. If Arjuna himself is asking this question, then such a disciplined person, such a wonderful gunas he has. Yeah? If you read about Arjuna, amazing character Arjuna is. He's sensitive, he's strong, everything. He has viveka, he has vairagya, everything is there. Accomplished person, a very accomplished person. He's no ordinary person. But he is asking because he has understood the nature of the mind, and he is asking this question to Krishna. So what did Krishna say? Huh? We'll see in the next class. Om स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ